Hey, it's Jackson from LitLearn. I'm super excited for today's video lesson. We're going to go through a poster ad and analyze the literary and visual techniques together. And this is going to be super useful, extremely useful for all IB English language and literature students, both SL and HL. Now we go into a lot more depth inside Analysis Simplified, which has helped students skyrocket their grade in weeks, days, and even overnight. And you can get started for free immediately after this video by signing up in the description below. All right, let's get the video started. So in this video, we are going to break down the literary techniques and the visual ones, and we're going to use the diamond method, the technique, meaning, effect, and purpose. We're going to break down each of these in this way. Also notice the little brain guy here. This represents your brain and my brain as we go through this text. We're going to look for patterns, purposes, ideas that we can then use to create our plan, which we'll talk about in the next video. Let's get into it. So the first one is the basic one. So we've got a bit of contrast, okay? So the contrast between the subject, the dog, and the human, and the background, which is a lot lighter. So this really just brings out the subject. Also notice the positioning, okay? The positioning, this part here is the main thing, the most significant thing that we can see from the top of the page as we go down, left to right and top down. That's the first thing that our eyes hit. So this grabs our attention, which is super important given the context and the audience, right? Because this is on a train. It's very noisy. There's a lot of stuff happening. We need a bit of contrast, and we need to make the ad engaging and easy to process in order for it to be effective and not, waste the advertiser's money. Okay, so we're going to add here into our little brain bank, engaging and clear. Next, we have visual detail. We can look a bit more detailed into the subject. Okay, so the person looks like he's wearing a bag, a hiking bag. The hiking sticks, binoculars. It's on a cliff on the edge, super precarious, and we've got hills. And the pose. Look at the pose, the body language. It looks very triumphant. So from this, the viewer can gather that the person has reached the top of the hike, and the person is very successful, triumphant, like Rocky, winning his boxing match. I'm not sure if you've seen that super old movie, classic. But so the purpose is to clearly depict the desirable end result of the hike. And again, this falls under the clear bucket. Next, we've got a medium technique. It's the image composition. So notice how small the person is compared to the environment and the background, right? We've got the open sky. It takes up a huge amount of area in this ad. And we've got the vast landscape beneath. And the meaning here is, nature is expansive. It's open. It's grand. It's epic, like the Grand Canyon, yeah? And it makes us feel super inspired. And ultimately, it conveys the freedom experienced on a hike. Freedom is just my way of saying it here. It could be beauty. You could say magnificence. There's no, correct answer here. The next technique is a medium difficulty one, which is the colors in the image. Okay, the colors are very soft, muted colors, dark, yellow, gray, different shades of blue. And so this suggests that nature is very beautiful and calm. It creates a sense of peace within us. These colors aren't super bright, like, these colors here, like the pink and the purple. These are very dull and mellow. And so this conveys the serene nature of hiking. So let's add in the idea or the theme of serenity. Also, we can talk about the context and audience again, the train, right? Think about the train. Think about being in that carriage. It's super busy, super noisy. There's a lot of stuff happening. And maybe at this point in time, the exact thing that the viewer wants is, in fact, calmness, is, in fact, peace. And so this really resonates. The use of this color really resonates with the viewer. Another visual element here is, it's a combination. We've got the wide shot, the gaze, and the silhouetted foreground. Right, so there's a specific choice behind using the silhouette and positioning the shot in this way. Instead, another choice, the poster could have shown something like this. We've got faces, we've got colors, we've got detail about exactly what the people are wearing, but all of that is blacked out. We don't see any of that. Instead, the focus is entirely on the background. That's why the wide shot is used. The wide shot shows and emphasizes the background instead of the actual subject, and blacking it out using the silhouette also serves to put the focus on the background. Also notice the gaze. Usually, us viewers follow the gaze of whoever is in the image, and so we also follow the gaze and we focus on the background. So all of these things accentuate our appreciation of the natural scenery. Now, I haven't added this as any particular point under freedom or serenity or anything like that, because it's more of, it could go under either of them, okay? It's more like an amplifying technique. Think about KFC, right? KFC is about chicken. That's the main literary techniques. This one is more like a coleslaw. You know, this is a a Pepsi. This is a side dish. It accentuates the main stuff, but doesn't actually introduce new ideas. It merely accentuates it by putting focus on the background. Great, so the next thing is typography. We can talk about the heading color. It's white, so it's very bright compared to the darker background, and this creates contrast. Also notice the huge, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but yeah, the huge font size here, which makes it very clear. So this goes under the clear bucket, grabs our attention. Also the diction in silence, right? This suggests that nature offers an escape from the noise, and this just emphasizes the serenity, the peace that is offered through pine hikes and their guided hiking tours. All right, we've got our first difficult technique here. Notice the fact that this is a single word, okay? It's not a full sentence, but there is a full stop at the end. So this is incomplete syntax. That's the technique. At the same time, we've also got the clean and elegant font. And both of these things, I think, symbolize simplicity, the simplicity and the decluttering that is offered to hikers as they interact with nature and participate in pine hikes, the guided hiking tour. So this, again, goes under serenity, the theme of serenity. As you can see, we're sort of building up these ideas, and basically you just need to become aware of the same process as you go through your exam to make it easier to create a plan. This is another difficult literary technique. It's the punctuation, the use of the full stop. So as you read this, silence, pause, like you've never heard it before. It creates an actual pause in the reader's mind, and my interpretation here is that it offers a taste of the stillness and the calmness that a hike can offer, just simply through the use of this strategic punctuation mark. I hope you've learned a lot from this video lesson. We've only covered half of the analysis. The rest of the deep dive and the full breakdown goes into a lot more detail into some of the harder literary and visual techniques, and we also look at an exemplar plan and an exemplar essay. So definitely join Analysis Simplified and get access first to a lot of the free content that we have, which will help you skyrocket your IB English grade. All right, see you inside the course.